culture podcast with the P in front of this instead of the C there. The Redfox Culture Podcast coming at you again live on a Saturday night this time. So I don't know, the dates keep changing, but it doesn't really matter. It is live, but you can come back to watch this anytime. Share your thoughts. Comments are still going to go live. I'll be seeing the comments even after the video comes out. So yeah, share your thoughts and opinions with anything we discussed today. But let's just have a good time. Let's just have a great time. Alright, how do you wanna start this one off?
Bro, you take it away, man. Like, there's so much stuff to say. There's so much stuff to say. Like, I'm excited, man. I'm just excited. I'm just trying to pick we're trying to pick a top 5 MCU characters right now. So
yeah, I'm only halfway through my list. So let's just discuss this Warner Brothers Discovery takeover.
Bro, I'm happy. Like Discovery, like, I don't know who they are, but they bought Warner Brothers, and I'm so happy that they did, because they now are focusing on the DCU. They are trying to compete with MCU, which is understandable, because they are top tier media right now. Because without the MCU, there wouldn't be theaters right now. Let me just say that. Leader, okay, they want more video games. Now, that is really fucking awesome, but I only have one issue. They just announced, you don't just start saying that stuff and then just bring out, oh, we're gonna do a Wonder Twins movie or show, whatever it is. And I'm just going, what the fuck? What? The Wonder Twins? No one asked for this shit. And they bring out the actors from Riverdale. I'm just going, oh my, what the shit is this? What the shit? But there's the chick that turns into any animal, and then there's a dude that he just turns into water. But not just water with something else. So he's apparently in the comics, the major one he uses is a bucket of water. Oh fuck! Oh, it's just, you don't just say that, and then you just bring out, oh, we're gonna do a Wonder Twins movie. No one asked for that shit.
That is such a. I swear they're trolling us at this point. But at the same time, April 1st was the beginning of this month, and this new Discovery thing is pretty new. It's pretty recent news, isn't it? I remember I looked on my feed for Instagram, and I saw that, and I thought, oh, okay, you know. What I really am looking forward to is the thing they say about Superman. I think that's what's got me really hyped about this whole takeover, is that they're focusing on Superman.
That is, bro. Okay. The thing is, though, I would love for them to bring back Henry Cavill. I would love that, right? But I kind of want to get. No, I'm not sure if he would do it, but the Superman from the Superman and Lois TV show, I would love him to be like the new Superman. Yeah, he is amazing. Now, let me just go back to the thing. That's like if Marvel, the MCU, were like, okay, we're gonna do our own cinematic universe. We're gonna start with Howard the Duck. It's just insane. I'm happy though. I'm very happy with what they're doing. Yeah, with Superman, I'm very happy with that. But it's all confusing, because are they going to cancel the Black Superman project that they were going to do? Are they going to continue with it? So since this is happening, what's going to happen with The Flash, the movie? Because it's supposed to be a small reboot, and it's supposed to, now spoilers, it's supposed to conclude into Crisis on Infinite Earth. So it's hella confusing, and Ezra Miller being arrested in Hawaii. Are they going to keep him, or are they going to take him away? Because if they take him away, they're going to have to. I don't know if they have to reshoot the film, or they're just going to keep him in. But yeah, it's very good for DC fans. Let me just say that, especially for me, I'm very hyped for this. But you don't just start with the Wonder Twins. That's not how you start this roller coaster, okay? That's not how you start it. Jesus Christ. Anyways,
I mean, if they make it, because I did read something as well that the I think the CEO of Discovery wanted there to be more Joker-like films.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I wonder what he means by
would
that.
be good.
If he means by like the MA rating of it, or the fact that it's a single character focused piece.
Yes,
So-
a single. Yeah, it would be a single character, like focus, because I feel like they want to do like what the MCU is doing, but I think they want to do because with Disney they just focus on the MCU. They're not really focusing on other like Marvel, like outside of the MCU. That's what DC is doing. DC wants to focus on they're focused on too much stuff. They're focused on the DCEU, which is their big one, but they're also focusing on stuff that's out of that main universe, like the Batman and the Joker. If they wanted to do something out of the DCU, what character would they do? Like, what do you think?
I'm just trying to think of like a character that we haven't really seen much of. Because if we're thinking like DC
I want to see a
Vertigo-
Booster Gold movie in the DCU. I want to see someone with Booster Gold. Booster Gold is such a funny character. Like, man, he's so cool and awesome. If you watch, like, if you've ever read him or watched him in Batman Brave and the Bold, they are doing a Blue Beetle movie, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. They're doing a Joker 2. That's what they're doing. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Because the Joker's a very unique take on the Joker as a character, and it does it really, really well. So I don't know how they're gonna do a second one of that. I just can't think of another character they can do. But to be honest, okay, the Joker is probably the best. It's not really a superhero villain movie, but it is the best supervillain movie of all time right now. It is better than Venom. It is better than Now shut up, Morbius, best movie of all time. Best movie of all time. Don't forget that. Forget that dance scene. I haven't watched the movie. Oren hasn't either, but I've seen clips of it, and it doesn't look good. It is very confusing. It was confusing from the start, right, Oren? It was confusing from the trailer, because we didn't know what he was set in.
They hyped a lot of different things about it, and I was thinking, I get excited because you see that Spider-Man mural, and it's
yeah.
Sam
They cut
Raimi's
that out.
Spider-Man, and then it comes out as like it's not a thing. Apparently the director wasn't even allowed to put Andrew Garfield into it, so he's not in it, sadly. But also, Morbius has the potential for being a really good character, but based on reviews, it sounds like they kind of did an Amazing Spider-Man 2, where they try to establish the Sinister Six, and they don't give enough time to establish Morbius as a character. They focus too much on the bigger picture that they just forget to make a good movie. Which I have to admit, everyone's making cinematic universes now. It's kind of hard to get that establishing shot, really. That establishing movie.
Sony's trying to do what Disney is doing, and it's not working. What they're trying to do is doing these villain movies, because what they're trying to set up the Sinister Six without Spider-Man. Am I right?
Looks like it.
It looks like they are, because they're doing Kraven, right? They're doing Kraven. They're doing the Kraven movie, and they've got Venom. So they've got Kraven, Venom. They've got Vulture. They've got Morbius. That's 4. So they need 2 more. So, but it's strange because I watched the post-credit scene on the internet, the Morbius one, spoilers, and Michael Keaton, because he talked to Morbius, he was like, I'm not sure why I'm here. I think it's because of Spider-Man, and it sounded like they were trying to find him, like they're trying to find Spider-Man, and it sounds like they're setting up like an actual Sinister Six movie with Andrew Garfield. But it's just so confusing what they do.
Like they're
It's
they're
more
reenacting
confusing.
Amy
It's
Pascal's
more
original
confusing
plan.
than the DCEU. It's so much more confusing. Because I know what the DCEU is trying to do. They're trying to reboot their own universe, which I think I've read the script of it, and it sounds awesome of what they're doing. But yeah, it's very very confusing what they're trying to do with
I should have recorded this.
with that Sony universe thing, you know. But yeah. Yeah, I've got my top 5 list of characters.
You got it?
I can't think of. Do you want me to go, or do you?
Yeah, I still haven't got my last, my fourth and fifth one, so I only got my top 3 at this point. But I'm thinking. It's hard because I really like, as you said, like you mentioned before.
I don't have favorite characters.
We each love
I
like the
have
movies.
movies.
Like I love Shang-Chi as a movie, but I'm not that big of a fan of the character. Like I'm sorry to say, like I'm not being like, you know, like racist or anything, but as a character, he's just not that compelling.
Okay, so hang on. So does that mean Tobey Maguire, like Sam Raimi and Mark Webb movies count?
They count.
They count?
I
they
count.
count. Okay. Alright, then I'm changing mine. Because, look, okay, I'll just tell you this. I've put... Oh, it's just... No, actually. We'll put... Oh, shit. Are you telling me... Hang on. Fuck. Oh, no. I'm just gonna have all 3 Spider... No, I'm not gonna put... I'm just saying, I'm not gonna put Tom. Okay, I'm not going to put... You know, I'm just gonna put Spider-Man, but as in like both Toby and what's his name, Andrew.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, because I really want to add one of the the Netflix MCU heroes, but I really don't know which one's my favorite. They're all fantastic shows.
Shit.
Fantastic shows.
Wait, no, hang on. Well, we can say it's canon. Is it? Okay,
I'm calling it canon.
Daredevil is canon, but it hasn't like actually suggested that the other rosters of characters are canon.
I don't see why not, though. I think, like me personally, if you're gonna put Daredevil as canon and Fisk, you really, realistically, you really should be putting in.
Come
really
on,
should
Orange.
be putting in what's it called?
Oh, hang on.
Iron Fist and Luke
no,
Cage and
I
Jessica
gotta
Jones.
put a top 10 now. I can't put a top 5. You can't do it. There's actually like a lot of good characters. Okay, no, don't top 5. Okay, I'm just gonna go with this. Okay, we're gonna put that one. Okay, I'm just gonna go with this one and then go. Okay, I'm not gonna put Daredevil. I'm going to put Morbius. No, I'm joking. He has this really, really dumb quote. Oh, like it's very cringe.
What I want to say.
You wouldn't like it when I'm angry.
What I want to say is that we have so many fantastic movies from the MCU, but in terms of characters, what I'm really drawn to is specific moments where a character really shines. I think, I like, it's not like the movie. A movie can shine really well, you know. Shang-Chi as a movie is so beautiful. It is beautiful. The storyline is incredible. It is very much, I'd say, from my opinion, a very story-driven movie.
It's
the
beautiful.
set pieces, the action, everything in that movie is top tier. Not just for like a superhero movie, but just like a martial arts kind of, just a movie in general. You know, it's got everything you want in a in a Marvel movie, plus that extra element of the mysticism and everything. It is different, but I think Moon Knight does a better job at creating that different atmosphere.
Oh yeah, definitely, my guy. Bro, Moon Knight
doesn't even feel
Moon Knight, okay.
like an MCU.
Moon Knight, yeah, I know,
property.
that's what I said. Moon Knight, let me just say this, like, okay, the first season, right? First episode, right? CG was a bit off, but who gives a rat's ass, to be honest? Come on, it's about the story. The first episode is still my favorite episode. And I know it has, like, the least fighting, okay? Alright, all the freaking MCU fanboys are going, oh, this is shit. There's no fighting, this is bad. Shut the fuck up. I don't think you've watched an actual film before, okay? Alright? The way they brought up, like, Steven, his origin story and how broken he was. I love to see broken characters. That's why I love Batman so much, because he's such a broken character. Steven is a broken character. He does not know who he is sometimes, right? And he's trying his very best to be his best, but it doesn't always plan out. Like that date, that didn't plan out. I was so devastated. I could see in Oscar Isaac's eyes the sadness. He was so like down, broken. He just didn't feel nothing. He felt emptiness. You know,
Yeah.
He felt dead inside, and I just loved everything about that episode. I just love broken characters in general because they're the most interesting.
The characterization in that first episode alone, I feel like Moon Knight is more character driven than Shang-Chi, just given the fact that we are given, like, it's a character study really on someone who has, you know, a mental condition. And we see their day-to-day life and see how it affects them. We understand, you know, we get a lot about Steven in that first episode. We see that, you know, he runs that store, but he wants to be the curator.
Steven's not the main character.
He
He's not the main character.
Steven can run, can be a curator in that museum. He can do the tours. He is a really, really smart guy in terms of, you know, ancient Egyptian history. He knows his stuff. And it's made a fact, this is a bit of a spoiler, in episode 3, when, you know, Mark calls on Steven for that scene, you know, where they put together it's like it's a star chart. It's a star chart.
Yeah.
And we see then that Steven isn't just some, you know, some British, useless, you know, kind of arbitrary character. He's really there. He's there, and he deserves a place in the body. And as part of the, you know, he definitely brings that kind of human element to the story. Mark is he's a bit morally ambiguous at times, you'll find. Especially, you know, given his kind of mercenary like nature. It's very plausible that he's a bit more broken than Steven in some ways. The way he kills people as the Moon Knight, and he just kind of, you know, he hasn't shown as very much remorse, and there's something there. It's not just Steven who has suffers from his split psyche. It's Mark as well, and we see Mark as kind of this anti-hero who just wants to be done with Khonshu. He just wants to die, really. He's willing to give up his body, give it to Steven, because he doesn't... you can tell he does not like himself. He's done some pretty shady shit, and I reckon we are going to see exactly, you know, what makes him, you know, so, I guess, beaten down and so, you know, remorseful. That it's just super compelling. And then there's this kind of teaser of Mark's third, Jake. This kind of
It's like
when Steven and
yeah.
Mark are asleep, Jake comes out to play in, and he's in the middle of slaughtering just some guys. It is chilling. It is honestly chilling
brutal.
to think
It is
about
brutal.
that.
It's basically a tier list. You've got the first one, which is Steven, which is like, he's a chill out dude, you know, working in the gift shop, you know. Then you've got Mark, who's like, you know, used to work in the special forces or wherever it is. Now he's like what you said, an anti-hero, so he can push far beyond, but he also has a sort of a limit with, like, you know how he didn't want to interrogate that kid off the cliff, like all that. And then you have Jake, which is brutal, which does not give a rat's ass and kill. And I can't wait. Now, they actually teased him at the very start. We didn't even know about this, but they actually... So, you know when Marvel brought out those 3 panels on Instagram about showing Moon Knight, like the actual outfit, and then you had Mr. Knight, and then you had Mark or Steven with the hood, right? Do you remember that? That character in the hood is actually Jake. We didn't even know about that. That's how good... That is amazing. We didn't even know. We thought that was just like Mark and Steven, like when he looks without the outfit. But no, that is Jake. We didn't even know. It's just... It's so cool. It's very cool to see. I think I've finished my top 5 list.
Yep.
I'm good. Yep.
I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna look at some stuff. All right. I'm gonna get down to finishing off my list, because there's so much to consider, so many characters that I really like to like look into. But I gotta pick 5. I gotta pick 5. I don't think I can pick more than 5. Yeah, you start.
Say mine? Alright, I'll say mine. Okay, number 5. I'm giving mine to Captain America. Let me just say that. Captain America, iconic hero in just like America in general. Like when the first issue came out with like Captain America, or I don't know what issue it was, but Captain America punching freaking Hitler in the face. Damn, that was iconic. And then from him to go from that, like later on, he didn't become popular at the time. Like it was a very popular character during World War II. Because of the Nazis, and then later on they decided to, like, he was stuck in that ice, and then he came out, and now he's like a hero in the present, you know, fighting crime and stuff. And then they put him into the movies, and Chris Evans does an amazing job with the character. He's just so just a iconic hero for everyone, just sort of like Superman, you know. I can't really say more. He's just a badass in Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier's a badass movie. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give number 4 Thanos. Thanos has one of the best quotes in Infinity War. Josh Brolin does an amazing job with the character. He is a chilling villain who will do anything to find these gems. And I love how they changed his character, like his goal. Like in the comics, his goal was for love because of death. But I liked it how they changed it to, like, he was the villain, but he was also right. Let me just say that. He was also, like, the hero. Like, we could understand why he did this. And it was kind of a good thing, because when we watched Eternals, Orion, he actually saved Earth.
Yeah,
he actually saved it. He was right. I mean, he did a bad thing, but he actually saved it. It was the Celestial was gonna destroy it, but since he snapped his fingers and half the population was down, the dude was like, "Oh, shit! Now we can't do it. Now we gotta wait." But he is such a chilling dude. And his quotes and the stuff that he says is just incredible. Number 3, I'm gonna say Green Goblin. Green Goblin. Goddamn. Holy shit. Willem Dafoe can still do the character. Let me just say that. From the first Spider-Man, he was so scary. Bro, that scene where he's like, the serum's getting like injected into him, and then like the jump scare comes in. It always scared me as a kid, and it still scares me now. Willem Dafoe does an amazing job with the character and the funny and the memes. You see the memes, but he brought that into No Way Home and improved it and went far beyond with the character. He said to Kevin Feige and what's her name, Amy Pascal, whatever her name is. He said, "I don't want to be a cameo. I just not want to be a cameo. I want to get involved. I want to go far beyond with this character," and he nailed it. He was menacing and scary, and I had never seen this in a slash MCU Sony movie. He was pure evil, and that's what the Green Goblin is. I prefer Green Goblin in the movies than in the comics from Ultimate Spider-Man. He is just so scary. He's just incredible acting from Willem Dafoe. Number 2, I've given it to Spider-Man, but I've said Tobey and Andrew. I as a kid, I loved Tobey, but then as I grow up, I love Tobey and Andrew. I can't really, I can pick Tobey over, but then when I think about it, I'm going, damn, Andrew had some really good moments. So I'm gonna say for like, they're both at the same, because Tobey in Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was just phenomenal. It taught us that when we get down, we always pick ourselves up. And just like for him from falling, from losing everything, and then picking him back up and getting MJ, but then I don't like MJ in that movie. And Andrew, holy shit. Andrew had some bad moments, but Andrew is a phenomenal actor. Like, if you've watched Tick, Tick, Boom, he was so good in that. Especially with Andrew and Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy in that movie were just, they had the best relationship in any Spider-Man movie. It was good. And it was very, very heartbreaking and sad to see Gwen die, and then for Peter to redeem himself and to catch MJ in Spider-Man No Way Home. He felt like that Gwen had forgiven him, that he didn't, like, all the pressure's like gone.
Like he'd forgiven himself, almost.
Yeah, he's forgiven himself, yeah, exactly. And that really got me. That was an amazing moment in that movie. Now, number one right now. Okay, number 1 MCU character. For me, I'm just going to say Batman is my favorite superhero character. And the reason why this character is my number 1 because of Batman, because he is a broken character. Moon Knight is my favorite MCU character. Alright, Moon Knight is probably my favorite MCU product that they've ever brought. Now, I know that me and Orion and Jack have said that, or mainly Jack and me have said, MCU is not going to be the same after Endgame. But I'm just going to say this. We've said that, and they still bring out bangers. Like, they brought out Spider-Man No Way Home. They bring out Moon Knight. They're about to bring Doctor Strange. They're about to bring back the Fantastic Four. They are still at the top. Alright? It won't feel the same as Endgame. But they're still, like, bringing out good stuff. And Moon Knight just feels... Oh, man. Moon Knight as a character. Now, Steven and Mark... And I'm very excited to see Jake, but Steven mostly he's such an interesting character. He doesn't, he's just, like, he doesn't fight, but his personality and how he helps, and his intelligence, the way he helped, with the star puzzle thing, which was really cool. Mark is really good, he's like the bronze and stuff. He did these like martial arts stuff, but Moon Knight is such a unique and cool character that I've never seen, and I've heard that he's a Batman copycat. He's actually not. He is the same as like a broken character, but not with different personalities and not with these superpowers and stuff. apparently he can. Apparently in comics he can wield Mjolnir without even being worthy. Like it doesn't matter if he's worthy, he can still pick that shit up. But yeah, he's just such a cool, unique, interesting character, and I just love broken characters because they're just cool. That's why I love the Joker. That's why I love the Batman's like roster of villains. So this is why I like Moon Knight. I would put Daredevil in here, but I'm just I don't think I can. I don't think I can. Just yet. I was gonna put Shang-Chi, but then I thought, yeah, I like the movie. I like the character, but yeah. But yeah, that's my top 5 list. So I couldn't. Yeah. Have you got yours on?
Do you have okay? And then give us some honorable Yeah. So Daredevil. Do you have any other honorable mentions besides Daredevil? Because I really want to put some honorable mentions in mine as well. Because there's just so many characters that I really want to stand up for.
20 of them. You know, I'm just gonna put
20. Just
I'm
rapid
gonna
fire.
say.
Rapid fire. One
I'm
sentence.
gonna say Jimmy Woo from freaking WandaVision.
Yeah,
Let's freaking go.
Jimmy Woo.
Bro, I remember all the memes. All the
That
freaking
guy
memes. He was like
fantastic.
legit, like he was like do you know like remember like remember what is it when the show came out? This like I think it was fake. I think it's fake. But they were gonna bring out a Jimmy Woo show. A Disney Plus Jimmy Woo show.
Yeah, because everyone was like, yo, I want a Jimmy Woo show. That was like a fan movement. Like a mini fan movement where they were like, give me that Jimmy Woo show where it's just him going on weird cases.
That's funny. Honorable mentions.
I would actually rewatch WandaVision just to see Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, just to see Jimmy Woo.
Just for Jimmy Woo, I would rewatch WandaVision. In fact, I will probably do that.
Bro, do people like... I can't really think of an honorable mention, but... Do people still think and go, damn, what's his name? What's the devil?
Mephisto.
Mephisto, yeah. Do people still think that Mephisto is going to appear in one of these MCU movies? That's what people are like. People thought Mephisto would be in Spider-Man. People thought Mephisto would be in Loki or WandaVision or anything. Like they'll think that Mephisto will be in Captain America 4. Honorable mention. Oh, the Winter Soldier. Oh, I love Bucky. I think Bucky Barnes is just a cool character. I think he's just with the metal armor. He's just in the Winter Soldier. He's like his theme music was so chilling and menacing. He's such a badass character when he fight Captain America. Oh, Iron Man. I'm just gonna say Iron Man, but I'm gonna say Iron Man from Iron Man 1. I loved Iron Man. I love Tony Stark from Iron Man 1, but he kind of like died off through like the Avengers and. I don't think Avengers he was good in. But I'm just thinking like Infinity War and Endgame, you know. His personality had changed.
Like he showed a lot of growth in like Iron Man, Avengers, Iron Man 2 and 3, and then they kind of regressed.
But it kind of didn't really feel like I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it didn't really feel like Tony Stark. Like, you know how... it just like, Tony Stark's supposed to be a cocky bastard, you know? He's supposed to say shit. But I guess he's like... They made him, like, more... I don't think it's a bad thing, but I've just realized it now. That he's sort of a serious character now. It just doesn't
but that makes
fit.
sense for his character arc, I think.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Another honorable mention. Star-Lord. Star-Lord's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you don't have any, like, right on your mind, then just move forward.
I don't really care about the characters. I prefer the movies.
Yeah.
I think the movies, the writing is really good. I think, to be honest, like, I think, no, I'm not gonna say that because a lot of people get pretty mad with me. But yeah, Let me just say this: I love the Marvel characters, and then some of them just like, why do they have to have problems? Like, why do they have like what people have a problem with DC is because they're godlike characters, but they're so. But in my eyes, like they have a problem with that because they're too overpowered. But in my eyes, I think that's cool as hell. I think that's badass how Superman can like freaking fly around the Earth and wind back time and stuff. I think that's badass. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of characters similar to like Daredevil, or something else. I don't know. It's probably just me. Don't get me wrong. I love the Marvel characters, but yeah, I think I definitely prefer the DC characters.
Yeah.
Because I just like grew up with that shit, you know. I kind of want to see if they did a new Superman movie. I want to see, and I thought about it today. I feel like Henry Cavill. He's a really, really good Superman. I think he's my favorite Superman. But
Absolutely.
he would play a good. He doesn't like the way he's been set out with Zack Snyder's version. He I don't know. He seems evil, right? Christopher Reeves feels like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You know, Christopher Reeves feels like a Superman from Superman Red and Blue, the comic book. He feels like he wants to help people. You know, I really want an act. I really can't think of another actor who'd play Superman.
Yeah, it is really
There's
hard.
not much. There's not much people that can play Superman. There's actually not.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. They don't really fit the. Anyway, so we're getting off track. You done with your honorable mentions? Because I'm gonna go straight into my top 10, top 5
Yeah,
list.
I just can't. Yeah, just tell me, man. Top 10.
Right.
You made
No,
it top 10.
Top five, and then honorable mentions.
Alright.
Number 5, I'm
Alright.
putting Daredevil from the MCU.
Oh.
Marvel,
Very
Netflix,
nice.
Daredevil. I've been watching this show. I can't believe I haven't, gotten around to doing it sooner. I love it. It is fantastic. That first season, chills, man. That last episode in the first season where he finally puts on that suit, that was fucking badass, man. I'm picking these. I'm just before we do the rest of the characters. I'm picking these based on my own emotional response to the characters. All right. So, if you're thinking that, why you like this character? This character's kind of bad. No, all right. It's my own emotional response to the character. If I feel a connection to the character, if I feel like, wow, this character, I'm getting like chills, my heart's beating, I'm having a great time, that's why I'm going to put them on my list. And Daredevil really fits that. He's a hero. He is a guy trying to do some good. He's lost a lot in his life. His father, his sight, he loses so much. He's a bit like Spider-Man in that regard. But the way he tackles that, both legally and as a vigilante, I think it's so compelling. Like, I know, Tatsus, you're gonna say, oh, you know me, I'm not really a big fan of dark, kind of brutalistic vigilante characters. I'm not a big fan of Batman. All right, I'm gonna put it out there. Him as a character, it doesn't really speak to me. I'm more into the happy-go-lucky kind of jokester kind of superheroes. But Daredevil, his story is so compelling. The whole struggle he has with his religion, and doing the right thing, and he thinks the world, New York, Hell's Kitchen, I should say, needs Daredevil. But at the same time, do I really want to be Daredevil? Because he's at conflict with himself. He's a man at conflict with himself, and I think that is probably one of the most compelling character tools that any publisher, director can use for a character. And he's just a nice guy. You know, if you really boil it down to it, he's a guy who wants to see the world happy, and he wants to save it, but at the same time, you know, he has to kind of manage his own darkness, and his darkness is super, super compelling. So next at number 4 is Luke Cage. Now, originally I had Luke Cage at 5 with Daredevil, but I've since put him at number 4, and then I put him back at number 5, and then I keep swapping him around. Now, with Luke Cage, I didn't exactly get as many of those, ooh, my spine tingling moments. You know, there wasn't as much kind of like this badass factor of the character. I just like Luke Cage he's just a really nice guy. I think in terms of reluctant heroes, you can't get much better than Luke Cage. He's a guy who was done so dirty. His storyline it's a bit more brutal than Daredevil's in some cases, because yeah, true, Daredevil gets his ass handed to him on, you know, a weekly basis as he goes out into the night, but he seeks that out. Luke Cage, he was just a guy who was a cop, and he got shat on so hard. He went to prison for a crime he didn't even commit, and when he was in prison, because of his he's big, you know, he's built, he was made to fight in like these illegal gladiatorial matches, and he was, you know, he's a man, he's trying to keep his nose clean, but he has to fight in these matches. And he became that. He became a fighter. He lost a part of himself to the ring, and he had to kind of claw his way out. And when he tries to, you know, become a whistleblower, blow the whole operation, the illegal gladiatorial matches, he gets fucking ganged up on, beaten within an inch of his life. You know, he's about to fucking die. That's how hard they fucking almost kill him. So that's when they put him in the pod, and then this fucking guy, I can't remember what his name is, but he was the guy overseeing his matches. He cranks up he tries to kill him basically, and that heat kind of galvanizes his skin, and that's how he gets his powers, and it looks so fucking painful. I mean, I know Daredevil, you know, he gets so, like, he gets so beat up in some of those movies, but that, I don't know, that just, the amount of pain that Luke Cage has to go through in his, just the first, like, before the show even starts. I'm just saying that Daredevil definitely has the upper hand on him with emotional pain, but I don't think anyone in the Netflix Marvel shows quite stacks up to, like, the amount of punishment that Luke Cage can take, especially with his, you know, unbreakable skin later on. You know, he could take a lot of punishment, but even before he had the unbreakable skin, his kind of demeanor, his whole vibe, and his whole kind of, his strength, his personal strength that he had even before he had powers, is so inspiring. And I keep talking about, like, civil rights movements when it comes to you know, African American characters, and how much I mean, I really love African American culture. I think about the music that they've given us, and the wonderful stories of just, you know, fighting for basic civil rights. And it's so unfair how much you know, African Americans have been marginalized in the past. It hurts me to even think about it, because I just feel so. It's just horrible to think about, honestly. And Luke Cage does a fantastic job of kind of bringing some of those themes to light in a way that's better than Black Panther. I'm not a big fan of Black Panther as a movie. I think as a black rights movie, it fails. And I know a lot of, if you're an African American and you're watching this, which I kind of doubt, you're gonna fight me on this one. My guy, there are so many, like, better movies than Black Panther that really nail home the themes of, you know, African American civil rights movements. One of them is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. and the other one is a little show called Luke Cage. Honestly, if you haven't seen Luke Cage, just watch it. It is incredible. It is really stylized. I love the whole theme of it. And the character, Luke Cage, you just want to root for him. Honestly, he's such a friendly neighborhood type of hero, you know? He's kind of like that guy who... He's like your friendly neighbor. Like, he's just out for the community. He's going off and he's stopping illegal drug rings, and he's going off and he's using his super strength and his unbreakable skin, and he's just kind of slapping people over the back of the head, and it's kind of like, it's nice. It's nice. He's the kind of guy you just want to be best friends with, and that's why I'm putting it at number 4. I would have put him higher, but these next 3 these are the big 3 in my opinion. Number 3, Captain America. I know Captain America was on your list, but I'm putting him at number 3 because, oh man, he's just such a nice guy. Like, and he's had some of the most badass scenes in the MCU. Compared to Thor, compared to Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America is he's not as strong as those guys. He's not like one of those godly beings. But what he has in spades, and what makes him such a fantastic character, is his heart. And if heart was a measurement of like strength, he would be. He's like MCU Jesus at this point. All right, he's so nice, and he always stands up for what's right, and he knows what he believes in. And while that can be controversial at times, he never, ever, ever betrays the American people, and he never betrays what he believes in. And that is so it's incredible for the character, and that's his character. He never bows down to bullies. And his speech about when the whole world tells you to move, you plant yourself like a tree beside the river of truth, and you say no, you move. I really wish they put that in the show or in the MCU, because that is such an iconic quote. And when he says that to Spider-Man in Civil War, the comic I'm talking about, that makes up for the whole Civil War story. All right, Civil War in the comic version, that's ass. All right, don't read. If you want to read it, just read the Spider-Man tie-ins, because those are. It's a bad event, but the Spider-Man tie-ins make up for that. All right, and you'll see what I mean. It's just a really good time. And Captain America is so inspiring. He's the most inspiring member. And that final bit in Avengers Endgame where he just says, "Avengers assemble," that his story comes full circle in the MCU. He gets his happy ending when, it feels like he's never going to do that, because, he's got all this responsibility, and he feels like, if I don't do this, who will? And then he kind of takes a step back. He realizes, he was the first superhero. He was the first Avenger. And now there's more heroes, and he can finally have his break. And though he's one of the younger actors in the MCU, there's no doubt that he's the oldest. Chris Evans does such a fantastic job of creating this man out of time. He's older than everyone, but at the same time he's kind of younger than everyone. He's an old soul, and he does a really good job portraying that.
How am I supposed to?
And all the things he's gone through, and how strong he has been through all of it, is incredible. Now I'm gonna take a quick little recession to just check the comments and see what y'all have to say.
Oh my goodness. How am I supposed to do this? I've been doing this for years.
Right. Murad. Hey! Murad, my guy! Yeah, I can, man. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, it's been such a long time. I haven't seen you since he's not watching anymore, but it's cool. Anyway, shout out to Murad, long-time fan of the show. Glad he came back for this culture podcast. Thank you. Come back. Right. That's all in the comics. Right. So let's not beat around the bush. Number 2, Star-Lord. Now, Star-Lord used to be my favorite MCU hero until a certain someone came along, and I'll get to that later. But let me just give you a reason. Let me give you some points as to why Star-Lord is, in my opinion, one of the best characters. Not even just in MCU, just in general. He is so much fun to watch. Chris Pratt is magical in the role. It's just so fun. He's such a fun character, and I can't wait to see more of him in Thor: Love and Thunder. But I think what really draws me to the character is just how fun he is. But beneath how funny he is, and beneath how, how kind of is almost a gag character at some points, even with all that, James Gunn has made it clear that Star-Lord is not just, this fall guy for bad jokes. He's also a really compelling, emotionally complex character. He has lost a lot. Like
Sorry.
most MCU heroes, he has lost a lot. And we don't really get to see that too much later on. And I'm talking like, later on with, I guess, not Infinity War, in like Endgame and Infinity War. Infinity War, of course, he loses Gamora, and that's really great. I just wish they kind of did that a little bit better. Star-Lord is so it's hard to talk about him because there's a lot to say, but at the same time I don't know where to begin. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was such an incredible movie. James Gunn, fantastic job. One of the reasons why it was such a great movie was because of the characters. Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket Raccoon, Groot. Flawed individuals, but when they come together, they form this family. And this family just really... it's this feeling that I'm trying to convey, but it's really hard. This family that they make is so wholesome. You want to root for them. They are the unlikely heroes. They are misfits, but they are so incredible. And of course, they have one fantastic leader. Star-Lord, although he can be a little bit childish and a bit, morally ambiguous at times, from the get-go, in that first flashback sequence when he's a kid and he's watching his mother die, you can tell that he has a great love for the world. He has that black eye as a kid, and he says, what? His mum asks him, why have you been fighting with the other boys? Why have you been fighting with the other boys? And he gives one of the most innocent, one of the most adorable lines in all of Marvel history, and he says, they killed his frog. Smushed it with a stick. I mean, who fights kids over a dead frog? I mean, come on, that's so innocent, and it's so beautiful, and there's a bit of that Peter Quill that lives on in the older Peter Quill, the one who's spent a lot of his life being a pirate, who sleeps around, who just kind of does whatever he wants. There is a bit of that hero that wants to be more. So when he has the chance to fight for, Xandar and stop Ronan the Accused, part of him jumps at the chance to do that. There's a big part of him that wants to be a hero, and it's kind of exploring that, kind of reverting to that childlike sense of, I want to save the world. Every little frog in the world, I want to save them all. And while at the same time, he's kind of the father. He is the father figure of the Guardians of the Galaxy. he's got Gamora, who's like the mum of the group, Drax, who's like that weird uncle, Rocket and Groot, who are kind of the child, like he's always having squabbles with them, and it's kind of like, what are you doing? Get your act together.
I was so close!
My guy, what the fuck?
I'm sorry! I'm doing
What are
this
you
time
doing?
trial.
What are you
I'm
doing?
doing this time. I'm driving the 1960s Batmobile in this time trial in fucking Batman Arkham Knight. I've been doing this since you were talking about your freaking top 5 MCU thing. Okay. Continue, I'm sorry. Okay.
damn.
You're talking about Star-Lord. I'm sorry.
Okay. And so, as I was saying,
Yeah.
this character, he's flawed, and I think that's really nice, and he's super funny too. He's super funny. What I really hate is that Infinity War and Endgame did him so dirty. It did him so dirty with like
What'd they do?
when they brought Thor into the mix, and they made him this kind of like loser. They made him a bit of a loser, and he's a badass character. All right, he's always in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's kind of like, he's a bit, he's kind of the butt of a couple of jokes, sure, but he's still got his badass moments. When he in the first Guardians movie, when he went back for his Walkman, he came back, he put that mask on, and I gotta say that mask looks really imposing. Like, if you see that in the hallway and it's a dark night, you look there and there's a guy wearing that fucking owl metal mask thing, you're like, what the fuck? I'm getting the shit out of here. He's got red glowing eyes. You're like, you're gonna get fucked up. He looks fucking scary under the right circumstances there. But that scene, he goes back for his Walkman, you realize, he's a very emotionally driven, sentimental character, and that's what makes him such a great person to watch. And I just hate it whenever anyone hates on him in Infinity War. Yes, they characterized him, they kind of made him a butt monkey for a bit of Infinity War, but you can't hate on him for punching Thanos. You can't hate on him for punching Thanos. I mean, look, I'm in a relationship now, and I'm just imagining if I were in his shoes and I lost my girl, bro, I'd have done the same fucking thing. All right, I'd have done the same fucking thing.
Or you just killed trillions of people.
The problem is, all you virgins out there are probably gonna be like, no, we're gonna save the world. Fuck the world, man. She is my world, and Gamora was Star-Lord's world, and as far as he's concerned, his world just fucking died. His world just like that, snapped away in an instant. And the family that he found, and then he worked so hard, and all that character development in Guardians Volume 1, Volume 2. This is why Star-Lord is one of my favorite characters. I feel for the guy. Honestly, it hurts. I feel like rewatching Infinity War, rewatching Endgame, I just think about how much Star-Lord has lost in his life. He's lost his mom, he's lost his dad, he's lost his other dad, he lost he lost his ship, he's lost so much stuff, and then the apple on the cake, the one woman he cares more about than anything, just gets snuffed out. And you can really feel that anxiety when Thanos takes her near the beginning of Infinity War. You can feel that anxiety, and then while they play it off with these corny MCU jokes, the fact remains the same. That man is fucking hurting. He is in pain throughout that movie. And, oh man, it's so sad. It's so sad, and I can't wait to see where his character goes next. I can't wait to see where it goes next. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, my number one MCU hero, alright? My hero, character, whatever.
It's Big Wheel!
Big Wheel, that's right. Big Wheel. The best Marvel villain of all time. Nah, just kidding. It is...
me, I gotta restart again.
It's Peter Parker, the Amazing Spider-Man! Not Tom Holland, not Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. My homeboy, my guy. Andrew Garfield, that's my guy. Where to begin? Where to begin? When I was 7,
A little itty boy,
little itty bitty boy, I was in Malaysia, and I watched my first ever time watching The Amazing Spider-Man. I read about it in newspapers. I was like, wow, there's a new Spider-Man. Wow, what's this? It's so mysterious, and this different guy. It's not Tobey Maguire. And I was like, what is this? Got a burnt copy of the movie. That's right. I stopped pirating it. I got it for like 6 ringgit at a little one of those pasamalam stores. It was a burnt copy. The quality was shit. It was terrible. It was ass. Plopped it into my DVD player, and I was like, God damn, this shit good. I was so compelled. He's a young kid. He's in high school. He's fighting the lizard. He's going into doing this stuff, and then that freaking scene with the cranes, and then he's swinging, and then that music, the build up, the whole hype. Fucking hype. I returned from my trip to Malaysia. I got my hands on a copy, like a proper DVD copy of The Amazing Spider-Man, and I rewatched that shit beginning to end, and I was like, God damn, this shit good. And then 2014 came around. 9-year-old me goes to see The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in 3D. I didn't even remember watching it in 3D, to be honest.
3D?
I wrote it in my diary. I had a diary back then, and I wrote, I went to go watch The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I talked about it. I talked about it for 2 whole fucking pages. 9-year-old me fucking analyzing the shit out of a freaking movie. I'm just like, yeah, the music, we got Pharrell Williams up in there, Hans Zimmer. I'm going in depth. I'm like, yeah, I saw Gwen Stacy's death coming. I did some research. I had this massive nerdgasm, and it's all in this fucking book. All in this fucking book. But I gave the book away. But
what?
Yeah, I put some other stuff in the book, and I gave it away. But anyway, if I had it with me, I'd read you the excerpt from that book. I watched it in 3D. I cried, bawled my eyes out at the beginning of the movie. I remember that. I can sometimes, I do forget sometimes when stuff happens in movies.
I did it! Yes! Alright, continue. Sorry, I was excited. I
God
did
damn
it! I finally did it! You know how long that's been? Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I get it.
Yep. Alright, go.
I sometimes forget what happens in movies, right? I sometimes forget certain details. I sometimes forget the dialogue. I can't remember sometimes what movies are about. But I tell you what, I never forget how a show makes me feel. I never forget how a show or a movie makes me feel. And that's what made making this list kind of easier, because I just remembered back to the way I felt when I was watching this. And when I cried, I've never bawled my eyes out that hard at the beginning of the movie, where I just, his parents die. I'm like, oh my god, that is such a heart clutch. Followed by the fucking coolest intro in any movie, where he's just diving out of the freaking sky, and then the cinematography. The only movie that actually uses the perfect amount of slow-mo. Doesn't abuse the slow-mo. It is so well shot. So well shot. Zack Snyder, eat your ass out, my guy. Watch freaking The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Take notes, my guy. Don't just... Oh, that movie's so slow-mo. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 uses slow motion in them. It is just beautiful. It is a cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
And then that ending with Gwen Stacy. Oh, Andrew Garfield, man. That guy... His acting is... it's incredible. It is honestly breathtaking. It is the amount of pain that he just conveys on the screen. The sheer, raw agony that he just... Oh, my God. Andrew Garfield is the best actor to play Spider-Man. He deserves all the Oscars, all the Academy Awards.
Should have got
somebody give this man an Oscar, because god damn, he knows how to act. And when you get a guy who knows how to act and you put him in a superhero role, holy shit, it's like freaking, it is like peanut butter and chocolate, alright? It is such, oh my god. So what? The Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't do that well critically. So what? It didn't meet expectations. But god damn, I need some redemption for my homeboy, and that's why they brought him back in Spider-Man No Way Home. And if you haven't seen that movie yet, and if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, you're fucking stupid. Honestly, if you don't know that the other Spider-Men are in that movie, you just watch the movie, my guy. It'll change your life if you're really into Spider-Man. If not, then it won't do much for you. But still, Andrew Garfield in that movie, he comes back and he's swinging and he's throwing, he's shooting threes, he's coming back, he's weird, he's funny, he's cool, he's Spider-Man, he's Peter Parker. In my eyes, forever, always, he is Spider-Man. And
fuck.
he has his redemption when he saves MJ from that tower, and that, once again, raw talent, rawness. It's like, I want more. I want more Andrew Garfield. I wanted more Andrew Garfield back in back in 2014 after the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I was like, I can't wait for the Amazing Spider-Man 3. I was absolutely devastated when that shit got cancelled. I was, oh my god, I can't tell you how absolutely just drained I was when I found that out. And
bro, they were gonna set up a Sinister Six, and they were gonna introduce Black Cat.
I feel robbed. And after No Way Home, everyone's finally feeling what I felt back in 2014.
Bro, Tom Holland wants to start a family.
Robbed.
They should just do the Andrew Garfield movie right now.
Do it now. Just do it. Sony, just do it. All right. The fans want it. I get they didn't want it before, but now they do, and that's all that matters. Give the fans what they want.
The fans should shut the fuck up. We complain a lot, and they were like, no, we're sorry, it was just a joke.
So, yeah. I will state facts. I recently watched The Amazing Spider-Man. I cried when that crane scene. I never got so emotional in a movie scene like that ever. I mean, when I watched it as a kid, I was like, wow, this is so cool. I felt the build up, the freaking emotional impact of like the rising music. But watching that again, I think it was late last year, I watched that. I bawled my eyes out. I'm not even gonna lie. That shit changed me. All right, seeing that kind of that loving, that comeuppance, Spider-Man, vigilante, hero, menace, I don't know. And then the guys, he's just like, Spider-Man needs our help, And it's just like that scene where Naruto takes on pain, and he comes back to the village, and they all cheer for Naruto. That was what it was like. Alright. So... yeah, I just, I'm trying to think about my closing statement, because I gotta do my honorable mentions. Yeah, just, Andrew Garfield, best Spider-Man, without a doubt. And, okay, I'm not to brag or anything, alright? I've read over 700 issues of Amazing Spider-Man. Just put
not brag, but I've read all Spider-Man.
Just putting it out there. And you want to come at me with this, oh my god, Tom Holland, he's so hot, he's the best Spider-Man. Or, just shut up. Alright, you say that, you're likely a 9-year-old girl. Alright, you're a 9-year-old, 14-year-old girl who's never experienced true
power.
You've never experienced true power. You've never experienced
this is so hard.
The emotional weight of Spider-Man. You've never seen, you've never understood who Spider-Man was as a character. And just shut up, alright? I know this sounds really mean, and for a while I was on the Tom Holland hype train, alright? I'm gonna give that a say. I was on the Tom Holland hype train. I saw this new flashy Spider-Man. I was like, God damn, this is the best. This is the best Spider-Man I've ever seen. And then I got to admit, I traded in my balls, and I didn't think, all right, I betrayed Andrew, and I'll never forgive myself. I never forgive myself. All right, I never forgive myself.
I traded in my
But
balls.
when I started reading the comics, you know what I said? I said, you know, Andrew, Tom Holland, what are you, my guy? No, I hate it. It makes me angry when people say that Tom Holland is the most comic accurate Spider-Man. It makes me angry. I'm shaking. I'm shaking right now. I'm like, why? Why would you say that? Have you ever read a comic? Have you ever read a fucking comic? Like, he's nowhere near. He's nowhere near the freaking character, the freaking legend of Spider-Man. He shits all over it. Homie shits all over the Legend of Spider-Man, and I mean, I love Tom Holland as an actor. I think he's really good, and I think he's, you know, he fits the role really well. But I rewatched No Way Home the other day, and I just couldn't stand him.
Bro,
I'm
I've watched
sorry,
it 5
I
times.
just couldn't stand Tom Holland. I just couldn't stand his
They-
high-pitched,
they-
girly voice going, oh my
they
god, I don't know what to do. It's like, oh no, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh damn, you know, I gotta brainwash the whole world because I can't go into MIT. Oh no, my friends. Oh my friends. Oh shut up, shut up.
Okay, the plot. Alright, let me just say this. The plot could have gone like so many other ways.
Yeah.
Like he could, okay, the plot is good. The plot's good, and because what they could have done is just make everyone forget who Mysterio is. Like they could have just done that, but we got this cool, you know, story with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and that's what people really wanted. People were hyped for this movie because of the characters. They were not hyped because of the story. They were hyped because of the characters. Now, I have a couple of issues with the MCU right now. They are just giving us shit. Alright, alright? Now, I love it. I love it as a fan. I love it as a nerd that we get all these characters. But I still want a good story. I feel like Doctor Strange, the new one, is going to be better than Spider-Man No Way Home. Because I feel like Sam Raimi's know what he's doing. Alright? I feel like he know what he's doing.
He loves character development, that guy.
Yeah. But I'm sick of fucking post-credit scenes. I'm sick of this shit. Like, I only watched, right? I hated Eternals. Now, I know you liked it, Oren. I hated that movie. And the only thing I liked about that movie was the post-credit scene. I feel terrible saying about that, because some people actually watch a movie to watch the post-credit scene. And if there isn't one, they're like, oh, this is shit. Man, where's my refund? But yeah, that's it's just I'm sick and tired of these fucking cameos and shit. People are only excited for these new movies because of the cameos, right? Not because of the story. That's why Batman is such a Batman's focused because it's new, it's different. I haven't watched a Batman movie in a lot, or actually a superhero movie in a long time that doesn't have fucking like characters from different universes or we had a cameo of the new Joker, not a Joker we've seen before. This is brand spanking new, and I love it. I freaking love it, and I can't wait to see more of the Batman. Now, Oren, I know you're not a Batman person, but you've said yourself that you prefer the Batman more than Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Jack,
yeah.
for some reason, I thought he was more hyped for this movie. It sounds like to me that he does not like the movie that much.
See, as a Spider-Man fan, I like No Way Home more, but I think Batman's a better movie. Now, I can think a movie's better, but it doesn't mean I like it more, alright? I'll rewatch No Way Home 10 million times, alright? I don't care. The Batman, I'll probably watch it another couple more times, but then Batman's not
10
my
billion
guy.
times.
Batman's not my guy. Spider-Man's my guy. And
no, fuck Spider-Man. Spider-Man is weird in Ultimate Spider-Man. I know Brian Michael Bendis is a true genius at what he does, but come on. Why the fuck is he, what is he? He's with it's, in Ultimate Spider-Man, they completely forget that Gwen Stacy is a clone. they forget that she's a clone, and they just move on. They move on, and then they're together. They forgot that she is actually dead. Dead. And they're like, oh, we're just gonna go on with our freaking lives.
Dead.
It's like,
D-E-D,
what?
dead.
Yes, dead. And I swear to God, this Peter Parker, right? Now, if I've heard from Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker, right? He's had relationships, proper relationships, right? Proper. I'm thinking long-term relationship. This one, he goes for all the he's like a fucking Chad. He goes for fucking Kitty Pryde, he goes for Black Cat, he goes for fucking MJ, he goes for Gwen, he goes for fucking Aunt May. No, I'm joking. He goes for Harry Styles,
Harry Styles, goddamn.
But it still has a really good plot. It still has a really good, interesting plot. My favorite issue from that whole series is just like Aunt May and Spider-Man just having a chat, because she just found out like he's Spider-Man, and there's just a full-on issue of them just sitting at the dining room table just talking about it. I think it's just beautiful and heartbreaking, and it's just amazing. I love the funny cameos that they have. Like, they mention actors, and they did a whole issue where Spider-Man was like, you can't do that movie, you don't have the rights, because Toby was going to do it, and then Spider-Man's like, who the fuck is this imposter, huh? And he actually talks to, like, Sam Raimi, and he goes, you don't have the rights to this. You can't do this. I love that. I love that issue. But, yeah, it's still good.
There is actually a reference to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in Spider-Verse, the book.
Is there?
There is, yep.
Oh, and everyone is living with Aunt May. So I'm talking about, okay, I'll list like all the people. I think MJ moved in. I can't remember. Gwen lives there. Gwen's like the brother. Like, they were together, and then she's like, oh no, you're like a brother to me now for some reason. I'm just going, what the fuck? So, there's MJ, Gwen, there's Kitty Pryde, I think? I don't know. Then there's Human Torch. There's the Iceman, I forgot his name. And yeah, that's it. 5 superheroes, and then there's just Aunt May. It's really cool.
That's
really
cool.
cool.
I gotta admit, that's really cool.
I'm
really
really
interested
cool.
in Miles Morales, to be honest, because I told you
Oh,
to, like,
Ultimate Spider-Man.
I said to you, you should read Ultimate Spider-Man because it's not as long as Amazing Spider-Man, and it modernizes the character, but also that's Miles' story. Miles becomes the focus of Ultimate Spider-Man near the end.
His story is really, really good. I like Genki. Genki's funny. I love Genki. Genki's wearing all the freaking cool t-shirt, playing that Lego, you know. Genki sort of reminded me of Ned. I feel like Ned, because Ned in Amazing Spider-Man, he's a villain, right?
He's
I feel like
not
Ned
necessarily a
took
villain,
inspiration.
but he's an asshole. He is an asshole.
Oh, he's an
Honestly,
asshole.
I hate him.
So Ned
hate his
in
guts.
like the movie,
I'm so glad
like
he's dead. Spoiler alert.
Ned in the
yeah, he's dead.
movies, I feel like he's like Genki.
He's Genki. Yeah.
Because I feel like he has some of that.
And Tom Holland is
Pretty
Miles
similar.
Morales, but instead of Spider-Man being his Spider-Man, it's
No.
Iron Man. Iron Man is his Spider-Man.
Well, I'm not saying that because he's black. Because I can't really say that
He's a fanboy.
he's like, well, yeah, but what, you talking about Miles or Tom? You're saying that Tom and Miles are like the same?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
Not really. No. I can't. Okay, Miles is like. Miles is like, sort of like. He's actually quite quiet. I'll say that. He's a little bit quiet. I can't really say much about him, but he's smart. Let me just say that he's smart. but there's no really like characteristics to it. He's sort of quiet, but then he's not, and then yeah, I can't. Yeah, I just can't tell what.
Have you read
like,
Spider-Man yet?
No.
What? Read it, my guy. I love
Well,
when
I'll
Peter
read it.
Parker
I'll
from
read
Earth
it.
616 interacts with Miles, because it's so wholesome. Miles is so... It's like he's Peter's
Oh,
excitable
you're talking about Miles
younger
from
brother.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, probably then. But now he's like in Ultimate. He's like not really saying much. Like he's a very quiet dude.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
because...
surprised that I was surprised that his mom died. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's...
what? His
That came
mom
as a
dies? I
shock
thought
to
he.
me.
I was like, what? I didn't know that. Then there was like some panels, that Gwen got a little bit too close. I was like, damn, are they gonna like, they have sex? I'm joking. Anyways, so sort of Gwen and MJ and Miles have this like team up, and also Genki too. Genki's there. But yeah, I can't really say much. I will go back to it. Just give me a second, because I'm reading a lot of DC stuff.
Yeah, fair.
I'm not. I want to read Moon Knight, but it's like, nah. I want to read. I've said this to Oren. I'm gonna read. I'm reading. What is it? Tom King's run of Batman, and I really, 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 really want to get into. I am gonna read Action Comics Superman. I have read the worst take on Batman as a character, All-Star Batman and Robin. That is that is fun. It is funny. I'll tell you, it's fine because it's different, but it's fucking dumb as shit. Let me tell you that. Frank Miller, a genius at what he does, brought out Dark Knight Returns, alright? Batman Year One, masterpiece. Beautiful. But you don't just bring... Because he does some dark shit, right? You don't just bring him into making... revitalize Batman again. Like, make like a current-gen Batman. Because that's what they were trying to do, DC. They were trying to compete with the Ultimate Comics, what Marvel was doing. So they brought out the All-Star series, where they brought All-Star Superman, which is my favorite, probably, comic book of all time. It is so breathtaking and just amazing. But what they did with All-Star Batman and Robin, holy shit. The artwork is still fucking beautiful. Jim Lee, beautiful illustrator who did Batman Hush. He fucked it up. He fucked it up real bad. He kidnapped Robin. He kidnapped him. He was been spying on him since he was like a little itty bitty boy, right? He's 12. He's 12 right now. And he kidnaps him in the Batmobile while he's running away from the cops, and he's laughing while he runs down the frickin' cops. And the Batman and the Robin's like, who the hell are you? And Batman goes, are you fucking retarded? I'm the goddamn Batman. He calls Matt Robin a retard. I'm just going, what? You don't just say that. I was going, holy shit, what the fuck am I reading? Oh my god. So he fucking takes him to the Batcave. He's like, damn, this is badass. And he thinks like, Robin's like, oh, Batman's got this like Clint Eastwood like freaking voice like accent or something. And Batman, he leaves him in this like separate part of the Batcave with no food, right? Just pure darkness. And he leaves him there, and he says, you gotta stay there for about a week or whatever, and you gotta eat, like, he had to eat rats. He actually had to eat rats while Batman was having sex with Black Canary. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, what the shit? So, so Superman, it goes to, like, I think the next issue. Superman finds out in the newspaper, it reads Bat Napping as the main title of the article. And he goes, you son of a bitch. So he freaking, like, calls, like, the Justice League, which is Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Superman, and Plastic Man for some reason. Wonder Woman, God, she's a bitch. Fuck me. She bumps into this old man, and she calls him, oh, go back to the sperm bank. I'm just going, what the fuck? What? You don't just say that, Wonder Woman. Jesus. Oh, and what is it? Green Lantern. Oh, he's a klutz. Fuck me. Like, Wonder Woman's like, he's like, carry my freaking robe or something. And Green Lantern's like, okay. And he, like, tumbles to catch it. He's like, fuck me, you're hot, you know, all that. And what is it? Wonder Woman. So they're all talking about, like, Batman kidnapping Robin. Because, the reason why they talk about it is because it has a bad look on the rest of the heroes, because that means, like, the public think that heroes are now kidnapping these kids to turn them into these freaking vigilantes and stuff. So they're like, we gotta do something about Batman. And Wonder Woman and Superman have this freaking fight and stuff, and then, like, Superman's like, I hate you, Wonder Woman's like, I hate you too, and then she, like, kisses him. And then, like, she walks away, she's like, I hate that guy, and he goes, I fucking love her. I'm just going, what the fuck am I reading right here? And then later on, the funniest shit, okay, so we got, the reason why this is bad is because of Batman, right, how insane he is, but there's nothing really going to it, there's nothing really going forward, there's no really big villain. They're just sort of like putting like characters in like one by one in the series. Nothing's really happening. Nothing's really moving forward. They put the Joker in for an issue. He doesn't do much. He has sex with a woman and then kills her. And then he goes to meet Catwoman, and that's the last time you see him. And he has this weird like Chinese dragon tattoo on his freaking back. I don't know what's happening. And then, what is it? Later on, Green Lantern visits Batman. And, fuck me, it's the funny shit. So, you know how Green Lantern's weakness is, like, yellow? like fear. He paints himself yellow. And in the room they're in, he paints the room. He tells Robin to paint the room. And then Robin paints himself. And then Green Lantern's like, is this a joke? And he goes, would you care to take some lemonade? I'm just going, what the fuck? And they're just making, he's just toying with him and stuff. And then Robin and Batman are just like teasing him. They like steal his ring. And then Robin, okay, I don't think I told you this part, alright, but Green Lantern actually had enough, and he tries to take Batman down. And then Robin comes in, and he actually, sort of, stabs him with his, fingers. And he's, choking. He's dying. And Batman goes, what the fuck is wrong with you? And punches Robin 4 times! What? He punches him about 4 times. He goes, you don't kill him. You don't just kill him, you idiot. And then he's just trying to Batman's trying to save Green Lantern. And Robin's like, wait. Did I do something bad? And Batman's like, shut your fucking mouth, just go.
Oh shit, that's so bad. Oh no.
Batman, Robin did so bad, and Batman just fucking the fuck? It is the worst story, but it's funny. I tell you this, it is funny as hell. And it only lasted for 10 issues. It was supposed to go for a 12-issue series, but it only lasted for 10 issues. The last issue was boring as hell. We had this big monologue of Black Canary. She wasn't even important. She was only there to have sex with Batman. That was it. And then you had Batgirl, which she apparently was crazy. She, started toying, fighting these goons while swearing the top of her lungs, and then Commissioner Gordon arrests her, and he goes, you little shit, and he finds out who she is, and it's like, okay. And then it just stops there. It's bad. It's funny, but there wasn't really anything going forward with it. Okay, I understand what you were saying before, or what you told me before about, this is kind of what Batman should have acted like, but that's not what Batman is. He doesn't wear a cape just to put fear into the villains. Yes, of course he does that, and he's not going over the board. He's also doing this for hope. He actually wants to save people, you know? Okay? If you think about it, yes, if you were dressed as a bat, and you did that, and you would actually be, going over the board. You'd be a proper anti-hero. He's not even Batman is the villain in this story. Batman is the villain in this story. It's insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
and sorry, at the start, Vic Val and Batman have a date at the circus, and then Vicky Vale has a car accident, and she dies apparently.
Oh, shit.
Alfred can apparently he there's one panel where he's boxing, he's practicing. He's a bit younger in this one, but he looks fit. But yeah, there's nothing really going to it. It's a very shit comic book. Let me just tell you that. So yeah, I don't know how long this stream's going for, but I'm just gonna say my last thing before I go do my thing. The comic books I'm reading right now I'm still reading Tom King's Batman. I think I'm on issue. I've read a lot. I'm going to finish it this holidays. I'm on issue 59, and after that, I'm going to read Action Comics Superman, and then if I want to take breaks, I would probably read either Booster Gold or something else. I don't know. And then for the books I want to get, the physical, because I'm reading it on my phone, the physical copies I want to get is I want to finish off the Deceased, because I had one volume. I want to get all three. There's 4 of them. I want to get the rest of the 3, and I want to get Superman Red and Blue, the physical copy. I want to continue reading Lucifer, because I'm enjoying that very much. But yeah, that's really it for me for comic books. So yeah, what about you, Aaron?
You know me. I just finished Spider-Verse. It is really interesting. It's what I started reading The Amazing Spider-Man to actually get up to. This was the storyline that I was, and I'm not disappointed, but now that I'm reading The Amazing Spider-Man, I prefer just the other stuff. This was kind of this is like the cherry on top, almost. It's kind of like ooh, this is nice, this is like a treat. This is a really nice treat, but I prefer steak. And cake is nice, but steak, I can have that more often. And this feels like the cake. For those who don't know, Spider-Verse is basically it's around issue 710 of Amazing Spider-Man. This is post Superior Spider-Man, so he got Doc Ock out of his body. So got his body back from Doc Ock. And there's these people called the Inheritors, and they were mentioned. Actually, their first appearance was in I think it was J. Michael Straczynski's run of Amazing Spider-Man back in 1999. He introduced Morlun, who was the Inheritor, one of the Inheritors, basically the main Inheritor, and he was this all-powerful being who went around eating animal totems. So chief among those on the top of the list was Spider-Man. He was the Spider Totem, and he is all spiders are connected to the web of life, so they can somewhat tell. Every Spider-Man can tell the future, somewhat. They have a connection to the web of life, which connects all time and stuff. So the Spider-Verse is the Spider Sense is actually an extra dimensional sense that tells a spider person what's coming in the future, in the near future. It's oh, you're in danger. Spider Sense will tell you better duck your head, blah blah blah. And the Spider Sense is connected to, as I said, the web of life, and the web of life is spun by this person called the Weaver. And now the Weaver, he connects the multiverse together. Essentially, he stitches it together, and the Inheritors, who are, as I said, the Spider Hunters, they kind of govern. They don't govern. They capture the Weaver, and they make the Weaver follow their bidding. So they use the Weaver and the Web of Life to go across different universes to hunt more Spider people. And the reason why Morlun is special is because he's the Inheritor that came to Earth 616 Spider-Man, and every time that he went there, Spider-Man managed to defeat. Actually, he managed to kill him. Basically, he poisoned him with radiation in Amazing Spider-Man issue 30, in the 1999 run. So technically, this is issue 574. Actually, no, because it's 35, so it's 578. So in issues 578, about thereabouts, circa 578, he poisons Morlun. 478, yeah, 478. That's right. He poisons Morlun, and then this guy shoots him. He dies, but for some reason, like maybe 100 or so issues later, Morlun comes back from the dead apparently, and that gets explained in Spider-Verse because they have a cloning factory. The Inheritors have a cloning factory on not Loom World, it's Earth 2. On Earth 2, Genix, who's the smart inheritor, he has a cloning factory, and that's how there's multiple Morlins and there's multiple Genixes, and Solus, who's the father of the Inheritors, he's like the most powerful one. He's strong enough to kill Captain Universe Spider-Man. If you don't know anything about Captain Universe Spider-Man, he has this thing called the Enigma Force, and the Enigma Force is cosmic power. He's about as strong as... who's a good gauge? Close to power levels for someone like... maybe Adam Warlock, perhaps. Adam Warlock, or definitely not like the level of Dr. Manhattan. Yes, he does have, matter-changing abilities, but he's not that powerful. However, he is strong enough to be imposing for the Inheritors until, of course, Solus comes, kills him, blah, blah, blah. The only thing that can really kill Inheritors is the Other. Now, in Amazing Spider-Man... I think it's in the 500s. They had this long-ass storyline called The Other, in which Peter Parker becomes the Other, but then he discards it. He stops being the Other when he dies. He doesn't. He does die, but before he dies, he becomes the Other, and the Other is probably the only spider that can naturally kill Inheritors, and with his other powers, he's able to kill Morlun, and that's why Morlun's afraid. He's actually afraid of Earth 616 Spider-Man. He is the one inheritor who was defeated by a Spider-Man, and Peter Parker from Earth 616 is the only Spider-Man that's actually managed to kill an inheritor. All the other Spider-Men have died to inheritors, so that's why they choose him as the leader, and why he's kind of the revered Spider-Man, because, as I said, he's the only one who's actually managed to defeat an inheritor, kill one. So that's really interesting as from story perspective. Morlun avoids 616 like the plague. He is afraid of Earth 616 Peter, because he knows that if he goes back there, he'll probably lose again. There's no way he's gonna beat him until later on with his family, they gang up on him. But that's cool because, as I said, Spider-Verse is like this massive conglomerate, massive just. It collects all the Spider people: Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham, Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, I should say, Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales, Japanese Spider-Man, the one with the freaking watch and the Gundam. You got this one here this guy here. He's there as well. Captain Britain Spider-Man, Spider UK, Billy Braddock from Earth 483, I think it is. You got this one, Scarlet Spider, Kane from Earth 616. He's the clone of Spider-Man. He's also there, and he's the current Other. So he's the Other, which means he can kill Inheritors, and he actually manages to kill Solus. Bit of a spoiler alert, but it's a really cool scene. Who else is in it? Freaking Andrew Garfield Spider-Man's in it. Like, he's not like there as like a major story, but he's mentioned. He's mentioned because Spider-Man mentions to the other Spider-Man, he's like, yo, there's a guy out there who looks like the guy from The Social Network. So it's like, it's Andrew Garfield. We know Andrew Garfield's in there. Spider-Man 2099, of course, he's in there. We got, who else on here? That's this guy, Spider-Punk. Spider-Punk is actually Hobie Brown from an alternate reality where he becomes Spider-Man and he's like a rock star. So that's not Peter Parker. There's just so many different Spider-Man. It's crazy. It is so cool, and it's so much fun. It is so much fun. I just love the whole story. It it just brings a smile. Brings a smile to my face to see all these Spider-Men, and if you haven't read it for yourself, get the Marvel Unlimited app or get it on. I think it's if you get a subscription.
Oh, get the better app. Get DC Infinite Universe, baby. Come on, it's
From
right here, bro. It's available now.
From
Bro,
a
it's
financial
cheaper.
standpoint, yes.
No, it's
I'd agree
cheaper.
I'd agree that DC's
And you get
app
one
is
of the
better.
and you get the best comic books. You get all of Action Comics Superman. You get Superman. You get Action Comics Batman. You get the whole Batman run as well. Get everything, man. Get everything except Fables. You can't read Fables on here for some reason. I don't know why it's not. You can read Preacher or Lucifer, and DMZ apparently. But you can't read Fables. Why is that? Why can't you get Fables on you?
I don't know. I mean, it is DC Black Label, formerly known as Vertigo, but it doesn't really tie in with the DC universe besides Batman vs. Bigby, which was. I'm not sure if that's canon to.
But that's the
Batman's
same with
story.
Preacher and DMZ and frickin'. Well, yeah, Lucifer. Doesn't matter if it's not a tie. It's still DC. DC.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's interesting. I will say that that is very intriguing.
DC Black. I'm just gonna see all the because they have what is it, Sweet Tooth on here.
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, I think so. Hang on. Sweet Tooth. Do they have Sweet Tooth? They have Sweet Tooth, but they don't have Fables. For some reason. Yeah. Lucifer, but is this Mike Carey? What the hell? This is not Mike Carey. Who is this guy?
Okay.
It's a different run.
Yeah, so if you guys want to pick up comic books, I strongly suggest getting a subscription service such as Marvel Unlimited or DC Universe Infinite, depending on your preferences. If you really want some good pointers, DC. Alex, give us some reading recommendations for DC. Quick fire.
Oh, bro, if you want to get into Batman, if you want something new, if you've never seen anything in movies or in video games, I recommend New 52 Batman. New 52 Batman, beautiful. If you want to read, okay, I'm not gonna say all the popular ones, okay, because they're the most. Okay, if you've never read a Batman comic, hang on, I'm just gonna go to my bookshelf. All the popular ones are Long Halloween, Dark Victory, Year One, Dark Knight Returns. You've got The Killing Joke. You've got yeah, they're like the popular ones. Oh, and Death of the Family. But and Batman Hush. But if you wanted to get into a proper series, I would recommend New 52 Batman, or the one I'm reading right now, Tom King's Batman. If you wanted to read Superman, I recommend All Star Superman, of course. If you want something brand new, like a different take on a character or characters, Injustice is perfect, or Red Sun, or Deceased, or let's go the Batman Who Laughs by Scott Snyder. Or if you want to read something that's outside of the main DC universe, multiverse, I reckon Lucifer or The Preacher, or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of out there. But the first one, if you're a Batman fan, New 52 Batman. If you are a Superman fan, go All Star Superman. It just depends on what character you want to read. For me, I have a lot of Batman comics, so I'm more so with the Batman side. So if you want to read Batman, New 52 Batman, straight away. Really good read.
And if you want to get into some Marvel comics, I can strongly recommend, as I said, Amazing Spider-Man is really good, but that's only if you really want to get a really long storyline and if you're feeling a commitment. If you're very committal, like me sometimes, shoutouts to my girlfriend, I'm very committed to her. But had to throw that one in there.
Very nice.
If you're really into getting committed to a storyline, Can't go wrong with Amazing Spider-Man. If you're looking at something a little shorter, still meaty, Ultimate Spider-Man. Tats will tell you all about that. But that's if you're really into Spider-Man. If you're looking into reading some Captain America, Ed Brubaker's run, the 2004 run of Ed Brubaker's Captain America is so well written. It is the introduction of the Winter Soldier. Well worth the read. Guardians of the Galaxy as well. Dan Abnett's run.
He has an omnibus.
Yeah, there's an omnibus of that. But if you want to read Guardians of the Galaxy, I strongly recommend reading Annihilation. Annihilation is the preface to the Guardians storyline, but it's also followed by Annihilation Conquest. Read those two first before starting Guardians by Dan Abnett, because that is Star-Lord's reintroduction to the Marvel continuity. So that's kind of important. Dan Abnett's run of Guardians, read that, follow that with the Thanos Imperative, then Brian Michael Bendis' Guardians, underrated gem that is. Then of course you've got the all new, all different Guardians, but that's for later, I guess. That's if you really like Dan Abnett and Brian Michael Bendis' runs of the characters. As if you're into reading some Guardians, I'm very much into this little 6-issue storyline called Star-Lord Grounded. It's about Star-Lord, and he's on Earth, and he's kind of, he's stranded there, and he has to, change his ways to fit with Earth's values and stuff like that. It's very interesting. Kind of a fish out of the water kind of story. Spider-Man Blue. If you're not really as much into committing yourself to a long ass storyline for Spider-Man, Spider-Man Blue has all the romantic hijinks that you'll find especially if you're a fan of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, that movie. This is all about Gwen Stacy. It's all about Gwen Stacy, how things were between them before she met an untimely demise. It's just a cute little story, and it's similar to Jeff Loeb's other works, Daredevil Yellow. That's another one, fantastic. I highly recommend Daredevil Yellow if you're into Daredevil. Okay, my last reading recommendation is something. It's not many of you will probably know about this, but it is called Nova. And I'm not talking about Richard Rider Nova. I'm talking about the 2016. I think it's not 2016. Before that, 2014, or was it 2013? 2010's Nova. This is not Richard Rider. This is Sam Alexander, and it's kind of an origin story. And he's a very recent character, so it's going to be a lot easier to get into him because there's not as much of it, because he hasn't been around for as long. Whereas you have a person like Spider-Man. The 60s, 60 years of Spider-Man to get through. That's a lot to chew. Sam Alexander is a very new character. He perhaps doesn't have the same emotional weight as some of the other more classical superheroes, but he's still got a lot of spunk, and his storyline, it's got a lot to really sink your teeth into, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. He's a very happy-go-lucky character. But yeah, that's all for my reading recommendations for now. As I said, whether you're a Marvel fan, if you're a Marvel fan, get the Marvel Unlimited app. It has an annual fee of about $100 a year. It's a bit steep for a couple people, but trust me, it's well worth it, because especially the price of comics nowadays, to get them in paperback form, it is ludicrous. It is ludicrous.
$40 to $60. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, the DC ones are very good. They're hardcovers, and they're only about $30. They're around about $30 to $35. They're actually really. Hang on, how much pages do they have? Oh, they have about 100 and. Oh no, 200 pages. Oh shit. I guess paper. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty cheap. But yeah.
And of course,
I would only suggest getting the subscription if I'd actually suggest getting a comic book first and then deciding if you want to get the subscription, because if you want to get it and you only got it just to read one comic book, then there's a free trial, right?
There's a free trial. So
you can use free. Yeah, there's a free trial on both, on DC and yeah. There is a lot of comic books that me and Oren have read. There's probably there's probably others that we haven't recommended, but there's a variety of different versions. Don't read All Star Batman and Robin. Only read it if you've read like the majority of if you know what Batman is. If you know what Batman is, if All Star Batman and Robin is your first comic book and you don't know what Batman is, then you have no idea. That's like Batman v Superman. That's what Zack Snyder did. He read Dark Knight Returns. Okay, Batman's gonna be like that. All right. The public thinks that frickin' Ben Affleck Batman is what Batman is. He is a killer. No, he is not. He is not a killer.
Just
okay?
like the public thinks that Tom Holland is what Spider-Man is, a whiny little brat.
No. Yes.
Nah.
But now the public thinks.
Spider-Man,
Now the public thinks that Batman is emo because of Robert Pattinson. So, but that's fine. That's okay.
And I get it. You know, Tom Holland is an interpretation of the character, so I can't really hate on him too bad. He does have some good points, I have to admit. I do like the direction they go with him by the end of No Way Home.
They did fix him a bit.
But the damage, in my opinion, the damage has already been done. And rewatching No Way Home, I just can't stand him. I honestly just can't stand the character. He's just... I'm sorry. Any hardcore fans of Tom Holland, Spider-Man... I'm sorry. Actually, no, screw that. I'm not sorry. Your opinion is your own opinion, and I'm not going to apologize for having my own opinion. So,
Alright,
yeah.
You tell him. You tell him, Lauren.
You guys, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. My opinion is no more valid than your opinion. I just go off what I enjoy. Oh, not what I enjoy. What I have learnt, what I have been exposed to, and that is Amazing Spider-Man.
I just feel like it doesn't. I feel like Tom Holland doesn't feel right because I feel like I feel like now he's like an overused actor. Like people expect him to be in these new movies. Okay, so he's in Uncharted. What is he gonna be? Apparently, someone said he was gonna be in the Ghost of Tsushima. I'm going, what the fuck? No. How is that gonna work? How?
Bro, Jack and Dexter starring Tom Holland.
People are like, oh, if Ezra Miller's not going to play Flash, let's get Tom Holland. I'm just going, what? No!
That's the first choice. Oh, we're casting Kratos for the new God of War movie. Who are we going to go with?
Yeah, Tom Holland.
Oh, yeah, Tom Holland.
Or The Rock. Or
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, but he can't wear his khaki shirt.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of wish Dylan O'Brien was Spider-Man. I think he'd play a really good Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But who was it the other day? You said Dylan O'Brien would. Was it you or was it Jack who said?
I said the Flash. No, I said Dylan O'Brien. I said the Flash. Yeah, I said he should play the Flash.
Yeah, I think
he would play good Spider-Man.
That'd be great. It's just a really good casting there. If I were the head honcho of Sony, if I were Amy Pascal, I'd cast Dylan O'Brien as Spider-Man, because he's just got the look. He is my dream cast for Spider-Man. I mean, I love Andrew Garfield, but bro, Dylan O'Brien in the role that's just a match made in heaven. It feels like Dylan O'Brien is the perfect fit for from what I've read in the comics. I feel like Dylan O'Brien can really perform like a really comic accurate Spider-Man, but that in another universe. Yeah. So yeah, this stream's gone on for quite a while. How long?
Yeah, it is. I'm just exhausted, man. I've been talking so much fucking shit, you know. Had that freaking screaming my head off because of the Batman level, whatever it was. I'm asleep now.
We're about to hit the 2-hour mark, so anyway, thank you guys very much for tuning into this episode of the Redfox Culture Podcast. We got really heated. We got really passionate. You guys want to get passionate? Jump on down to the comments. We did not get nearly enough comments to really join the discussion. I get you guys love to hear our silky, masculine baritone tones, but some audience participation would very much be appreciated every once in a while. I'd love you guys to join the discussion. if there's a topic you guys want to talk about, pop her in the comments. We're going to discuss it. We're going to think about it. We're just going to make it. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And if you guys don't want to talk about anything, then we'll just sit here and do fuck all. You guys can watch us play Spider-Man or whatever floats your boat. So, yeah, as I said, thank you very much for tuning in. And I hope to see you guys soon.